Hello, beautiful Pisces. Thank you so much for being here. So, I'm going to be doing another reading for Pisces, of course. And this card is the card usually of persistence or, having a hard time, especially this way. The 9 represents perseverance, determination. I always feel like adrenal fatigue when I look at this card. That discipline, determined. I'm going to be strong, I'm going to be rigid, but I'm frustrated, but it's hard work, but I'm going to keep going. But in this case, it turned around. So, the message is to release the resistance of this general, the general energy of this card. In the earlier reading, it was talking about not putting in as much resistance so that you're able to create whatever you like in your life. So this card in reverse is telling you the same thing. Release that resistance. Okay? When you believe that the road will be hard, then you are just giving that energy the power to prove you correct. And what you want to be doing right now is to release that resistance of just so much work, having to do so much work in regards to, oh, this is going to be so hard. It's going to be harder than I thought. And be frustrated because of the length of the road. So just release that. Release all of that resisting energy inside of you. Let it go completely. And find a better way. And we're going to be looking at what Spirit wants you to know in regards to that. So I'm going to pick a beautiful card. I've been using these all week. Why does my saying no to it mean saying yes to it? I love this card, and it's perfect for this. When you give attention to something you desire and say yes to it, you're including it in your vibration. When you look at something you do not want and say no to it, you are including it in your vibration. You cannot exclude anything that you're giving your attention to. And it's pretty simple. I hope you guys are getting the gist of it. I know it's something that they haven't already repeated quite a few times in readings, but it's something that's so hard to release in the way that we see things, in the way that we're looking at things these days. We're always giving everything so much of our attention, and unknowingly we spend time I feel complaining about many things. It took me taking a course where I had to write a contract to myself to say that I wasn't going to complain incessantly, and that I promised that I would rip up this contract and recommit to it every time I found myself complaining or whining about something, whether it be in my mind or outwardly. Well, I spent days ripping up this contract, thinking that I was not that type of a person. But I feel that we give so much energy to this part of ourselves that we forget that we just do it on autopilot. And what we really need is to call ourselves out on it and start practicing something different and giving our energy where it needs to, because such as this beautiful tree in the wind, whatever you put your energy in, that's where the wind's going to blow, and that's where the energy's going to shift. And I would much rather give that energy to something that's going to bring something back to me rather than keep me in negative energy, such as is at the bottom of this deck. So here we go, Pisces. Let's see here. Okay, Queen of Cups, but it's in reverse. I feel they're just trying to put a point of view of by feeding the beast. I'll call it that through this reading. By feeding the negative beast, you're also closing off your receptive Queen of Cups. This feminine energy that allows psychic introspection, the beautiful emotions, the dream state, the listener even, when you are focused on a different kind of energy, you are really doing yourself a disfavor of letting this beautiful energy in, of receiving. And you want to be on the receiving end of the good energy. You don't want to be feeding the wrong beast. Okay? The Seven of Cups right now is reminding me that there's so many things that do show up in your life. It is very hard to shift our energy because there's so many things that seem to come at you. I would like you to see it as more of a challenge, and that's what I want. It's learning a skill. It feels like they're saying it's like learning a skill. They keep giving you things to get your attention off of what you should be doing. In other words, the things that you see going by in the news. I know a lot of you say you don't watch the news, but there are different ways of getting negative energies to pass. Most of us have phones that we're looking at, and that's where that stuff goes. There's still advertising even on my videos, thank God, because that brings in some wealth. Hopefully they're playing some okay commercials, ads on my videos. So I can't be upset with that. But there's so many media outlets in between. Even in YouTube, they're always recommending, the latest world events. And they're trying to capture your attention. And sometimes it's not, a lot of times it's not in the best places. They give you so many different things. Like, I feel like it's a dog looking at squirrels, talking about animals. We've been doing a lot. It's like your attention's focused on the good, and suddenly it's like squirrel, and you go back down that chute of negative, resistive thinking. And I feel that Spirit is saying it's almost to get you to practice the art of being able to move past these moments of lack of attention to what you were doing, trying to bring in this receptive energy, okay? But definitely, there's a lot coming in here saying like, hey, I want your attention. Hey, look over here. Oh, there's another rabbit hole you just fell down. It's like Spirit is saying this is how it's like a ninja practicing their skills, right? The more you practice of getting yourself away from those energies, the better you're going to become. Ten of Pentacles. Beautiful and wonderful, great things come in. But I feel that there's a lot of diversity in this card. Just the different people, the different age groups. I feel they're saying the more that you put diversity in your life, the two different colored dogs is just one perfect. The more the contrast you invite in your life, and it's not to say tolerate, but to be more accepting of the different points of view and the different people that we have around us, and the different everything that is around us. The more you are accepting, and I'm not saying like don't let people run you over, because there are certain groups right now in the world that are they're claiming that they want rights, but they kind of they run over everybody else's. And I'm not speaking about these people, absolutely not, because they're doing exactly the opposite of what they're preaching they want. It's not working. It's just another extreme. I'm talking about just people like you and I, every day, just trying to live a beautiful, abundant life and trying to bring peace in their life, but do it in a very different way. Just as some of you live in different countries, have different ways of doing things, marvelous ways that, would probably offer a lot of insight and richness to the world. that we have currently. And if everybody could just be open to that without imposing their will on everybody else's, it would be such a wonderful place. And that's the kind of energy, not the forces that come to separate us with negative ideas and negative thoughts. It's the people who come in with the diverse different things, the richness of the planet that's actually there, that's helping the energy, focus the energy into something that we can really build on. Yeah. And that's when we can create anything we want, big or small, because we have the resources of everybody around us. We've accepted the richness of everybody, the different points of view, the beautiful life tradition and heritage that is in all of us to offer, in all of us. Yeah, and soon we can leave like the riffraff behind, the negativity behind. And it's this card usually has leaving is hard to do, because taking a departure, like I said, is very hard. It always tries to come back in to mix things up, to make it feel off and odd. But if you really take the time, you'll see that the stuff that you're leaving behind, it's had its day, it's had its time. You've learned the lessons. Now it's time for you to move forward out of this resistance into allowance, into allowing the good to come in. Ten of Cups in reverse. It's been coming in reverse a lot. Spirit has been wanting just to let you know that before you can make allowances and try to work so hard on other people's behalf, you really have to make yourself whole. It's more of the Nine of Cups rather than the Ten of Cups at this moment. Because it's only by perfecting the Nine, the I, the you, that is part of the whole, can you actually contribute to the whole. Because if you're always like resisting and persisting and everything is so hard, that's the energy you're putting out there. You don't want to let people feel this so that they think their life has to be hard and against the current and always trying to get somewhere. You want to be a whole person who has really wonderful energies, who knows how to leave the past behind, to pick the better feeling, the diversity and the richness of life, so that you can turn that Ten of Cups around, so that the energy that you're putting out there now becomes the energy that's going to serve everybody. Okay? So it's not to say that you can't have your Ten of Cups, but it's like taking the steps to get to it. Okay? Something turned there. I didn't exactly see it. Maybe you did. Got the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a big nurturing energy coming in with this reading. And it is about nurturing. It's about an openness of mind, which I like to call the spiritual brain anyway. An openness of how you see things. Breaking down limitations. Always seeing the positive. Underneath the deck you have this beautiful Ace of Swords. The clarity of things. The smoke clearing. See the smoke? It's clearing. It's cutting through all of that. And you also have these, I know this is the tree, but it's almost like you have the same type of energy. Do you see it? Here and here. It's that speedy, fiery, I love the Knight of Pentacles underneath the deck, saying that this is progress. Just taking the time to do this is progress. This is also 42. Number 6, lovely. 6 is a good number to be working on. Good vibrations, always good vibrations. And 3, 6, 9. So my beautiful ones, let's pull a few charms, and let's see what else they have to say with this. Okay. All this week we've had this beautiful seahorse, and trust me, I don't have a ton of these, but it's actually, this is a unicorn. It's not a seahorse. Why did I think it was a seahorse? I don't know. I think they're both really beautiful, and this one as well. There's only one of these, but it keeps coming out. So your pets are really talking about, there's letters here, I, G, A, and N. So it could be somebody named Gia. It could be the name of a pet, a person. These letters usually come out. So to validate the fact that you have somebody who wants you to know that you should be listening to this reading. This could also spell a gas. Like if you put, this could be an N or a Z or Z. Anyway, you need to put gas in the right tank, Pisces, is what's coming through with that, actually. It's like you have to gas up in the most positive way. Wait, I just spotted something. Oh, and there's another letter. Could be an M or a W. Wow, a lot of letters today. Gas, or even the maze, M-A-Z, and there's an E missing. Or Magi, as in magician. There's a whole bunch of things that could be spelt out here. So there's a lot of magic in putting the gas in the right tank. Magi is also, like, I think a word for a magician as well. Magi. There is a beautiful butterfly transformation into something better, into the unicorn. The magic of the unicorn. Unicorn are mystical creatures, right? This is the bottom of the anchor, and it's very meaningful because in the readings this week, and another reading this week that I dropped, we had the other part of this anchor, and that was the one that was tied to the boat. This is the one that's at the bottom of the ocean. What you really need is to finally release that entire anchor and leave it there. Because what you did is you left part of that anchor. All of this work that you've been doing has really been propelling you forward in a most positive way. But there's still part of that anchor that is holding on to the boat, and you need to put those two back together again so that you can release the final part of this resistance that you're holding on to. Okay? So that you can do the full transformation. And again, think of how animals handle the planet, trees, the most basic of creatures that have, a lot of them, been here forever. If you think of underwater mammals as well, they have been here a long time, probably longer than we know, in one shape or other, and they have really mastered the art of just being and taking the very best of the moment. We have a lot to learn from them. All right, my beautiful Pisces, that's it for me. This is the reading. This buttons up the reading for the week. Tomorrow I have 2 more, but it is for the upcoming week and also a beautiful healing for you. So I hope that you can join me then. I'm sending you love, light, and blessings as always. Take care.